Hi everyone, Tim Jordan here from the marketing team at Open Colleges. We've got an exciting new course to talk about today. It's the Diploma of Practice Management. So it's a new course in the health portfolio that we're really excited about launching very soon. So what we're going to go through today is we'll talk about why we've decided to launch this course. We'll talk about who we think the target audience is that we think will be attracted to this course, what they'll get out of it, so what jobs they can get when they graduate, the requirements to enroll in the course, how the course is structured, so the modules and units, but also what students are actually going to learn. We'll talk about work placement, all the details you need to know to be able to tell your prospects about work placement. We'll go through the unique selling points of the course, and then we'll finish off with how we compare against our competitors and what our pricing is. So we decided to launch this course for a number of reasons. The first one is, the health industry is growing. So according to Seek, health practice management jobs have grown by almost 20% over the last 5 years. And we think they're going to continue to grow even further. And that's because in Australia, we have an aging population who require more access to healthcare. And there's expanding private health insurance, which means that more people are going to the doctor, more people are seeking out medical care, which means there's a demand for people who are qualified to be able to manage the facilities that give out that medical care. So there is strong demand out there for qualified practice managers. Also, this course gives us an opportunity to expand into diploma level health qualifications. We don't have any other courses in the health portfolio at the diploma level. So it's a natural higher level course for our Certificate 3 and Certificate 4 level courses in health. Lastly, there's a small number of competitors out there offering this course. So we feel like by getting into this market, we can pretty quickly establish ourselves as a leader in the industry. We're already a leader in health education. So there's not a lot of competition out there competing for these students. So we think we can generate market share pretty quickly. Okay, so in terms of the target audience for this course is going to be ideal for people who want to manage a health practice or a clinical practice. And we think there's going to be two distinct audience groups who are going to be inquiring about this course. The first one are those career changers. So these are people who are looking to get out of their current career, or perhaps they're looking to get back into the workforce with a new career, and they want to manage a doctor's office. They want to manage a clinical practice or a health practice. But what they really want is a direct pathway to that job. They want to get straight behind the reception desk and manage the thing. They don't really want to work their way up through the position of being an allied health assistant. They won't necessarily have healthcare experience, but what they're attracted to about the industry is, there's a sense of job security around working in the medical profession. There's doctors' offices everywhere. Every small town in Australia has a GP's office. And they think to themselves, that would be a great job to be able to use my management skills, my business acumen, but also work somewhere where it's going to help people. Managing a clinic that provides medical care, that's a very satisfying job outcome, and it's it's going to really kind of attract people who want to make a difference in their career and feel good about the job that they do. The other audience is more of the career enhancer audience. So these are people who are already working in the health industry. Maybe they're a healthcare assistant, and their motivation is to move into more of an administrative or management role. So, they're looking to get out of the trenches in a way and get behind the desk so that they can do more of that, what they would consider more strategic work, where they're not on the front line administering care anymore, but they're actually managing the way that the clinic runs, you know, and that would be to them seen to be an aspirational career move. So they may be qualified as an allied health assistant or a health assistant in nursing, and then this diploma of practice management would give them the step up into that more administrative or management role. So specific employment outcomes for this course. Students who graduate from the course could seek employment as a practice manager in a general practice environment. So what that means, that general practice environment, essentially it means your local GP clinic. Generally, a GP clinic would have more than one GPs operating in the locations, that they need somebody to manage that practice rather than a single kind of doctor doing it on their own. In the industry now, we also have these things called super clinics or multidisciplinary clinics. So these are an organization or an environment that has a range of different clinicians. So you might have your GP, but you also might have a dietitian or an allied health practitioner, and you can often go there and be serviced by a number of different health care providers at one time. And so those organizations would have an excellent need for qualified managers who can manage the practice. There's also what we call after-hours clinics. So these are general practitioners who operate either close to a hospital or as an alternative to going to the emergency room. So these would be suitable employment outcomes for a graduate of this course. Also, specialist clinics such as surgeons' rooms. One thing to note though, and we need to be quite clear about this for this course, so there's a lot of different types of healthcare settings, but our course has been designed in the context of general practice, so a GP environment. So what we need to be clear on is particularly around if a student is looking for a job outcome in the dental industry, this qualification is not exactly suited to them because there are different requirements in the dental industry around managing accounts and billing, and they use different software. So just to be clear, when you're engaging with prospective students, our course is most suitable for employment in a general practice environment. Another aspect of the course is that we encourage students to become members of the Australian Association of Practice Managers, and this will help them get a foot in the door of the industry and help them get a job when they're looking for a job, and probably help them get work placement as well. So the great thing about our Diploma of Practice Management is that it allows students to apply to become an associate member. So they qualify to become an associate member of the Australian Association of Practice Managers if they're studying the diploma with open colleges. Another interesting part about this course is that students who graduate from our course with a Diploma of Practice Management, plus once they get a couple of years of work experience, they'll be qualified to become a certified practice manager through the AAPM. So they would need to go to the AAPM and apply, but the requirements are a Diploma of Practice Management, the course that we offer, plus some work experience. So if they're really looking to further their career as a practice manager, then this is the qualification that will allow them to get those industry recognized memberships and certifications. Entry requirements. Okay, so what do people need to enter the course, to enroll in the course? Well, as we've already pretty much discussed, you don't need any prior experience. So you don't need to be working in the health industry. You don't have to have any other particular qualification in health. So there's no prerequisites from an education point of view. But given that it's a diploma course, given that you're going to be doing a work placement where you're dealing with people who need medical care, we do require students to have completed Year 12. If they haven't completed Year 12, we'll accept a Certificate 4 in any qualification as an equivalent of Year 12. Otherwise, we require to see 2 years of experience in a healthcare role. So we think most of the audience for this course will have either been a career changer, either have completed Year 12 or a Cert 4. Otherwise, if they're a career enhancer, it's a pretty good chance that they'll have some experience in health. We also require them to be 18, given that they're going to be dealing with in the medical profession. Right, so this part of the presentation is about how the course is structured and what skills the students will learn as they move through the course. I haven't put a list of units here. You can read the website or the course brochure, the course guide, if you want to see the units of competency that are mapped to these modules. This is more going to be an explanation of how students move through the course. So we start the students off with a very introductory unit about the medical health practice, the clinical practice environment. So you know, students will start off with understanding, you know, just how a practice runs and works, but also really importantly, in their first module, they will learn all of the medical terminology that they need in their role as a practice manager. That's a key skill. The medical terminology is a very good skill to have when you start moving through the rest of the course. Module 2, we take you through the relevant workplace health and safety, you know, the legislation involved, and this is, you know, actually quite important from a health perspective. Not the most exciting thing to study, but if you think about it, in a medical practice, you know, the policies and procedures you put in place around, you know, health, safety, infection control, and very much so the ethics of the workplace, you know, are pretty important. And I think the audience, the students interested in this course will appreciate that that's there as part of the course. As you move into the third module, you know, then we start talking more of the management side of things. So, you know, how to actually recruit staff to join your healthcare team, managing a team of health professionals. So a lot of the human resources side of things, which is, you know, more of a business skill, but it's very contextualized to the medical profession. Module 4 is when it becomes really specific about practice management. So you can imagine when you're working in a doctor's office, everything around the billing side of things, health insurance, accounts, you know, Medicare, you know, that's going to be very specific, very important for the students to learn, but also crucial for them to be able to get employment in the industry. So you couldn't just have a standard management diploma or business diploma to be able to run a doctor's office. You would need these specific skills that we're going to apply here. We also then cover other management subjects like, you know, budgeting, how to manage the finances of a medical facility, but also customer service, you know, account management. Then we move through into continue that more strategic thinking of practice management around continuous improvement, managing risk. You know, these are all important skills for students to have. Then the final module, the capstone module, is where all of the structured workplace learning, the work placement comes together, and that's where students can put into practice all the things that they've learned throughout the various modules and complete the course, hopefully. Speaking of work placement, so there's 160 hours of workplace learning required in this course, and students need to do that work placement in a general practice. So the work placement is obviously very, very important, and it's a really great way for students to get into the industry. They can practice what they've learned in the course before being assessed in those areas. But the work placement could also give them contacts and give them the confidence and the skills to help them find a job after the course. So they'll not only have a diploma, but they'll also have 160 hours of work experience. So in terms of structure, students can start their work placement after they've completed Module 3. and they can do that while they're ongoing with modules 4 and 5. And then it all comes together in terms of the assessment in module 6. Again, just a reminder that this course is focused on general practice. So students won't be able to complete their work experience in a dental facility. There's a list of proper equipment and resources that the work placement needs for students to be able to complete their work placement. So if you have questions around examples of workplaces that do or don't fit the requirements, the best thing would be to ask the program manager, and they will be more than happy to give you examples of the types of work placement that students could undertake. An important note about work placement. So when we were studying this course, when we were doing the analysis of this course and looking at competitors, we noticed that some of our major competitors don't offer work placement as part of this course. How does this work? How do they not offer work placement? The honest answer is we don't know. This is a course that's very specific to a medical workplace. The training package that outlines the details of what needs to go in the course and how students need to be assessed is very clear. It's pretty black and white. There are parts of the course that must be assessed in the workplace. There's no way that a student could be considered to have completed those units without being in the workplace, even with what's called a simulated workplace or doing case studies. There's just no way we could understand how they do it. A lot of competitors are offering an old version of the course, so it's useful to tell students if they're looking at a competitor and in the training package code it ends with the letters, the numbers 12, so the 2012 training package, that course is being transitioned to the 2015 course, which is what we're offering. We expect that once all of our competitors move to the 2015 course, they will have to offer work placement. But I will show you one competitor that still does not have any mention of work placement on their website. So, key selling points for our course. Very important point. This course is a North Coast TAFE accredited qualification. So students will be getting a Diploma of Practice Management from TAFE. So they can be assured that it's got all the flexibility and all the support of open colleges, but they're also getting a TAFE qualification that's recognised everywhere across Australia. We've built the course based on real-world examples. So all of the assessment, all of the course content is actually being developed by industry experts, and then students can combine the real-world content with their work placement to help them get a job in the industry or advance their career. That work placement could be their foot in the door to the health practice industry. The learning experience itself, the content in open space is very dynamic, very interactive. The content's been specifically developed for this course. There's no long PDFs to download. Everything is online, and you can do it wherever you are with any device. You can do it on your phone, you can do it on your iPad, you can do it on your laptop. The division have done something which I think is very, very important for this audience. They've created the course so it's structured into 20-minute blocks, 20-minute learning activities. So rather than opening up your open space, going into an activity and having to sit there for an hour and finish something, they've made everything a lot smaller so that a student can go in, do something quickly, get to the end, and then either exit and continue with their life or do another learning activity. So it's really flexible, really tailored to the student. As we've already discussed, there's no entry requirements apart from having completed Year 12. You don't need to have had any health experience whatsoever. There's a lot of job opportunities in this area. The health industry is growing. There's a need for qualified staff, and graduates with this qualification are in demand. And it's a really rewarding career. No 2 days are ever going to be the same as a practice manager. You're going to meet all sorts of people coming through the door. You're going to have a real, interesting workplace environment. If you want to combine your passion for serving the community, helping people, but also, applying your business and management skills, then this is a really interesting space. Competitors. So Open Colleges is offering this course at $5,500. It is a fee-for-service offering. We are not going to be offering vet fee help with our Diploma of Practice Management. As you can see, there's actually not very many competitors out there offering this course. The main competitor for us is Seek Learning through O10. So O10 are offering the same diploma. They're offering the 2015 diploma through Seek Learning. Their price is $11,500, so it's $6,000 more than our course. It's more than double our course, although it does have vet fee help. Now, remember, when you have a vet fee help course, you also need to add another 20% on top of that. So there's another couple of $1,000 on top of the $11,500. Now, the key thing to understand about Seek Learning's course is there's no work placement. Now, I believe that this is actually a disadvantage for students enrolling at Seek Learning. Can you imagine if you tried to get a job with a Diploma of Practice Management at a medical facility with no work experience, and when they asked you, how did you practice all of the things that we need you to do, and your explanation was, well, I did it through a case study, or I did it through a simulated work environment online. If it was up to me, I'd rather hire somebody with the experience. So I think when we're talking to students about the difference between Seek Learning and Open Colleges, I think the work placement at Open Colleges is actually an advantage for us. Our graduates are going to be more qualified. They're going to be better thought of in the industry. They're already going to be working in the industry with that 160 hours of work placement. So, that's going to have our students on a better footing. Now, there's the other competitors out there kind of vary in their quality. So the AIAS, the Australian Institute of Applied Science, that's through Study Group, which are a large private organisation. They offer this course for $7,500 with vet fee help. They're still selling the 2012 version. So anybody who enrolls with them in February 2016 into the 2012 version will have to transition into the 2015 version. There's a very good chance that the 2015 version will have work placement. So if they were counting on not doing any, then they'll have to do it anyway. Same thing with Foundation Education in Victoria. Their course is almost $13,000, still selling the 2012 version. Health Industry Training does specify work placement, but they don't tell us how much, which is not a lot of detail. Holmes-Glen is probably the most well-known institute offering this course, but they only do it face-to-face. Holmes-Glen also require entry requirements. You must have completed a health qualification, either the Cert 3 in Business Admin or the Cert 4 in Health Administration. So I think given our competitive price, given our focus on career-focused learning and the TAFE, our TAFE accreditation, we have a very competitive, very compelling offering in the market. That's it. Thank you for your time. We're really excited about this course. I hope you guys are excited about it as we are. If you've got any questions, send them through your team leader. We'll be happy to answer them for you. Thanks again, and see you next time.